Hello there and welcome to a new video, and as promised it's a sketchbook tour. This sketchbook actually covers quite a large period in my life. I started it in April 2022 and I finished it in August last year, so it's been sat needing a video made for a freaking long time. So this is going to be quite fun because a lot of this stuff I haven't like properly seen in quite a while, so I'm as excited as hopefully you are. If you are new to my channel and you have no idea who I am, my name is Nikki. I'm an artist based in Suffolk with a full-time job, trying to navigate my way through life having a full-time job and still make time for art, which can be quite difficult. As evidenced by the fact that this is not a large sketchbook and it took me well over a year to complete it. But yeah, without further ado, let's just dive straight in. I can't wait, let's dive straight in, let's go. Okay, so hopefully this angle works. I always find sketchbook tour videos so difficult to film because I basically have to straddle the tripod, so I might just keep bumping it by accident, so please forgive that. This sketchbook is a Strathmore mixed media sketchbook. Can't remember the exact make and size, so I'll put it on the screen. It's chunky boy now. I love it when sketchbooks go like this. Oh my god, it makes me so happy. It makes me feel very productive. So what I'll do is I'll just put the names of everyone that made the stickers on the screen right now, including my little travel gouache palette there at the side, so if you're interested, screenshot and then you can find the stickers later. Okay, let's get started. So this is where I just like threw a bunch of stickers that I didn't really know what else to do with but didn't want to throw away, so a lot of these are mine. This is Michelle Coffee. This is actually her return address sticker, which is cute as hell. Washi tape by Artistically Tori. Love her washi tape. I have many of them now. Some turtles. I love turtles. These ones are done in gouache and coloured pencil. So the gouache I use is predominantly this one, which is Reeves, which is a really good sort of intro brand if you want to try all the colours of gouache but you don't have a lot of money, because it's extremely cheap. I also use a bit of Holbein, although now all of my Holbein tubes are completely dry. That is dry gouache in there, which is sad. And then I also use a little bit of Winsor and Newton on the side. I think once I'm out of Reeves, I'm probably going to start just replacing my palettes with Winsor and Newton because I like it a whole bunch. What I do is I literally just squeeze out the colours into this empty palette that I got off Amazon, I believe, yonks ago. Let it dry, and then I just, every time I want to use it, I just drop in some water. You need to let it sit for a little bit to just like get liquid again, but then you can just use it as normal. Anyway, so that's how I made this. Very cute. Love a turtle. This is actually the first page I did. I did this before the turtles, weirdly. For this page I used this. It's a highlighter pencil. It's made by Faber-Castell. It's a real chunky boy. It's very nice to hold, not fun to sharpen. It also doesn't keep its point for very long at all, but I use that for the shading, which is why it's very pink. And then people always ask me what pen I use for this page, and it's this Pentel sign pen in pink, and it's real cute. It's got a real nice nib. It's like felt tippy, but it's like real flexible, which is quite nice. Super cute. This was I asked people on my Instagram which animals I should draw, and they gave me these ones, and it was really fun. I need to do that again actually because that was super fun. Some bears. I love these bears. These are sun bears, probably one of my favourite bears. So cute. And I just did this in gouache. This page took me a really long time to paint because I kept sort of changing my mind about what colours I wanted like the shadows and the highlights to be, so I kept like painting over it. But I think it turned out pretty good. I used to have this available in my shop as a print before I closed it. For context, I decided when I started this sketchbook that I was going to use it as about like a bit of a journal. So I started like sticking receipts in. This is a cinema ticket when I went to see Jurassic World. It's a parking ticket. And this is a receipt from a Japanese restaurant in Ipswich that's now completely gone. Oh my gosh, there is no text on that anymore. Sad times, but that's one of my favourite places to eat in Ipswich. There's some sketches of Colin when we were sat outside a pub in a beer garden and then a house across the street. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this page very much. I don't think these pictures of Colin look at all like him. I think he looks like Harry Hill, who you probably only know who that is if you're British. The picture of the house isn't so bad, but it was fine. I drew this all on location as well, which I'm quite proud of, to be fair. So this is a menu for my favourite takeaway place where my mum lives. This is a drawing of Kirkstall Abbey. It's actually based on a photo that I took. I didn't draw it at the time, but I did it in, I used this black Pentel brush pen. Love me a brush pen. I just drew on myself by accident. But yeah, it's got a really nice, literally a brush tip, which is lovely for if you want a really nice inked look, but you don't want to carry around a pot of ink. So yeah, this is basically, we went for a visit home, and I was just documenting some of the things that I ate and some of the things that we did, and like some quotes from my mum. We played double together and it was really funny. So yeah, that's that. More random, it's the train ticket to when I did my first art market. I did the Felixstowe vegan market, that was really fun. And then this rabbit is made in gouache again. And I wanted to do it in the bisexual flag colours because that's my flag. Yeah, I love the way it turned out. I really wanted to do like the coloured outlines. The flowers turned out so cute. I'm really proud of that one. So this is the beginning of our trip to Scotland back in 2022. I have a whole video on this if you want to see the vlog I made of when we went there. It was a bit of an ill-fated trip really, because it was our first like proper holiday together. First holiday we'd been on after COVID, and we both got COVID halfway through the trip, so the latter half of the trip was a bit of a struggle. So some of this I drew on location, and some of it I ended up doing one after I came home, and it's just it's watercolour. I think these are Reeves as well, but I've just squeezed these out in exactly the same way that I squeeze out gouache. But this palette's so old. I think I've probably had this palette for about 10 years now. The paint in it has probably been in there for about 10 years as well, because I don't use watercolour that often. I just took it on this trip because it was easier. The palette's smaller, so it was easier to fit in my bag. And I use water brushes very similar to this, although not these exact ones, but yeah, just basically a brush with a bit for water to go in, and then you just squeeze it, and yeah. And again, just me writing my thoughts down because I wanted to use this as a bit of a journal, and then sticking in bits from places we went. Cute, that was a fun trip. This is more from my Scotland trip. So we went to Edinburgh Castle. I think this was in Holyrood. I think this was like just the pattern that was on one of the walls. It was really cool. And then we went to Loch Lomond and we stayed at 100% vegan hotel in Scotland called Saoirse. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce that. Gorgeous, a bit of a food we ate there. It was very posh, very fancy, very expensive, but tasty. And we went on a pedalo at Loch Lomond, and I got really upset because I thought we were gonna go overboard, and I had my phone in my pocket, and I was really worried that my phone would get broken. So yeah, I think these ones I did. This I did at the time, this I did in the hotel at the time, and I think these I ended up doing after we came home. I was obsessed with this no fires sign for some reason. I just really enjoyed it. Nice bird that we saw. If you know what kind of bird that is, let me know, because I have no idea. Yeah, just a map from where we walked. So we walked around this little loch. And then this is when we went to Glamis Castle. Again, just me sort of journaling. The pencil I used for this actually, so these are my favourite pencils, Faber-Castell Polychromos. If you ever see me using pencils and it's not the highlighter pencil that I showed you earlier, it's these guys. I absolutely love them. Couldn't recommend them more. I think they're fabulous. And then last day in Edinburgh, we went to this place called the Hermitage, which is like basically a forest with a river running through it. with loads of like rapids. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. Definitely recommend. If you're ever around Pitlochry area in Scotland, definitely go there, it's gorgeous. And then this is a vegan restaurant that we ate at. It's like a fast food place in Edinburgh called Paradise Palms. Love that place. And then on the way back we came via York and spent a night in York, and I was absolutely miserable because I felt so sick. I was so ill, but we went to this really nice Japanese restaurant. Oh my god, it was gorgeous. It was called Ippuku Tea House. So that's our Scotland trip. I think after this point I kind of was like, I'm not using this as a journal anymore, I can't really be bothered, I'm just gonna draw in it. I think after I made this video, this vlog, and I showed the pages, it kind of felt weird having like diary entries in it. It kind of felt like, I don't know, a bit too personal, so I was like, probably not gonna do that anymore. This is in the highlighter pencil from before and the Pentel pink sign pen. I did a reel of literally me just drawing this heart, and it got over 1 million views on Instagram and kind of made me a little bit Insta famous for a little bit, which was horrendous, but it's one of my absolute favourite sketchbook spreads that I've ever done. And I used to have a print of this in my shop as well, which I'm definitely going to keep when I reopen my shop because I absolutely adore this page. So this was when Colourista very kindly sent me some of their pens to try. They sent me loads of like regular markers, but I was really interested in these watercolour markers. As part of the deal of them sending me the pens, they wanted me to create a piece with them and post about it, which I did. But these are just the swatches that I made when I was like testing the pens out. Honestly, they're not my favourite pens, but the watercolour ones are really fun to use on watercolour paper. And you can get some really nice like bleedy effects, which they're probably quite good for like backgrounds if you want to use them for that, and then maybe use gouache or pencil over the top. This is all in acrylics. I use Galeria acrylics, Winsor & Newton. I really probably at some point should upgrade to like some nicer acrylics, but they do the job for now. And this was me just trying to cover up, because these bleed through, so I was just trying to cover up the bleed through. And then I just painted this little leopard on top, which I really like actually. I think he turned out really nice. These some Palace cats, which are the cutest, grumpiest cats in the entire world. I think I did some of this in gouache, but the majority of it is just Polychromos pencils again. So this is the beginning of 2023. So this whole bit was like April to December 2022. This is January 2023, and I just wanted to draw something wintry. It's just gouache and coloured pencil again. Gouache and coloured pencil is one of my favourite things to draw with, because the gouache is great for just getting flat colours down, and then you can really get the details in with the pencil, which is nice. And I love the washy effect too. So this wolf is made using this pocket brush, but also as another Pentel pocket brush. Absolutely love these. This is actually, the ink in this ran out yonks ago. The ink inside I believe is this, which is just like, it's like liquid watercolour. It's really good, it's very potent. So yeah, so if you have these and the ink runs out, you can just fill them with watercolour, liquid watercolour. So he's done with those pens, and then a bit of that highlighter pencil here. I'm not too impressed with this wolf, to be fair. I think I probably could have done it a bit better, but it filled a page. So this is acrylic paint. I think I had some acrylic paint left over when I was painting something else, and I just covered this whole spread in it and then drew over it using the black Pentel Pocket Brush pen and coloured pencils, which looked great until I did like the cream, pinky cream coloured pencil in the back, and I think that absolutely ruined it. I wish I'd left it. It had like a nice green background, and I wish I'd left it there. I love these chubby little ginger cats, they're so cute. So I think this is a mixture of the Colourista markers they sent me, just the regular markers, and Promarkers. These are the Promarkers. So you can get them like this, where it's literally just a nib end. Oh god, I think this one's really dry. A nib end and then a chisel tip. But you can also get ones that have a chisel tip and then a brush end, which I used to really prefer, but actually recently I prefer these ones better because you can get like a much thinner line with the nib than you can with the brush. But like I say, my main issue with markers is that once it's dried out, you've just got a bit of plastic to throw away, which is not fun. Which is such a shame because I love using markers. I might have to invest in like Copics because I think you can, if I'm not mistaken, you can replace the ink in those. I just thought this scene was so cute. I found this image on Pinterest and I just thought it was so cute. Some mice, I think these are harvest mice or dormice. Probably dormice actually. I think I drew something here and then covered it up with this paper. I can't remember what I drew. I must not have liked it though. So this is, again, that black Pentel Pocket Brush and just Faber-Castell pencils. The one thing I'll say about this sketchbook is it takes paint and ink super well, but you can't really draw straight on it with pencil. There's too much texture, so it's really difficult to get like an even texture with pencil. So, but if you use like gouache first and then draw over it with pencil, it works really well. So there's some more marker drawings. So jays are one of my favourite birds, and blue tits are one of my favourite birds as well. But these I drew on Bristol board, and then just, which is a really smooth paper, which is great for pencils and markers, and then just cut them out and stuck them in. This one, I don't know about it. Honestly, I don't know about it. I did the background with gouache, I think, like really watered down gouache, and then did Faber-Castell pencils over the top, and this is fine. This I don't like. I was just trying to draw something like quickly, I think, I was starting to get very aware that I wanted to like fill the pages up, so I think it was just something quick to do. More, I think these are harvest mice actually, not dormice. So cute. This is just all gouache. I can't say the word gouache. I don't know if you've noticed. I chop and change the way I say it. Can't pronounce it. It's fine. But this is 100% gouache, and I was trying to really layer it and make it really painterly. I think it worked out on this guy. The rest of them, potentially not so much. So we're getting to like springtime 2023 because this is when Fall Out Boy's latest album came out, and I had it on repeat. I probably listened to it like 100 times in a row. Absolutely love the album, so good. So I drew the album artwork, which I can't, if you know who made the album artwork for that album, please let me know, because I looked and I googled and I couldn't find it anywhere. So, but I really love it and I'd love to see more work by this artist, so let me know. I literally just did this in pencil. It's fine, but proportions are a bit rubbish, but it's all right. And then inspired by that, I drew this guy. The background of this one is these guys. So I think I wet it and then dropped the colour on and just let it sort of, yeah, just let it mingle, and then just went over it with the Old Faithful. But I'm still pleased with this one. I thought it turned out pretty good. It's very comic booky, which I quite like. This is acrylic. The background is using these guys, different colours obviously, but it's using this stuff. And then just went over with these acrylic paints, which I really like the look of. I love the look of acrylic paints, but every time I paint something with acrylic paints, it takes me so long and I have to redo bits all the time. I just need practice, but it just takes so long that it's almost like not worth doing. I like making pieces that are quite quick, so. But I love this. I think it turned out really cute. Some African painted dogs. There's another background that I did in these liquid watercolours. I got a bit obsessed with using them for backgrounds, so I just did a blobby background. And then this is one of my favourite pencils to use. I prefer using this over like a regular pencil, but the lead is very difficult to get sharp. You have to buy a special sharpener for it, and the sharpener is made out of quite flimsy plastic, so it tends to break. So I penciled it using that, and then used the good old Pentel Pocket Brush in black. Look at them. I mean, they are adorable. It's another acrylic painting. So 2 magpies. The colours of this I think are great. But again, this took absolutely forever. But it turned out pretty cute. This is potentially my favourite spread in this entire sketchbook. This is done in Promarkers and coloured pencils, Faber-Castell coloured pencils. I love it. It turned out so good. The colours look awesome. This is a single magpie, sorry about it. I haven't got a lot to say about it other than I think it's great. It's another acrylic painting that I got halfway through and abandoned because it was taking too long. This one is just after I'd made this travel gouache palette, which I made a video on how I made it, if you're interested. I'll link it up here somewhere. So I used this for the paint and then used this guy as the brush, which was a bit of an experiment because we were going to Scotland again for a holiday in 2023 and I really wanted to do some location drawing, some like plein air painting, and I was just testing out how I liked the brushes, so I just made this little chipmunk. He's so cute. I just coloured pencil over the top of the paint. Again, it's one of my favourite combos. This is again using this and the water brushes, but this was after we came back from holiday. I didn't actually do any painting on holiday despite the fact that I massively intended to, and as a result of that I felt like a big massive failure, and when we came back off holiday in 2023 I actually had a bit of a bout of depression, which was not fun at all. I didn't draw for ages, didn't really do anything that I enjoyed, and then at the end of it I painted this in my sketchbook, and it was the first time that I'd actually felt like I'd done something worthwhile in that whole period. It was probably like 2 weeks or something, 2 or 3 weeks after holiday that I felt really grotty about myself. So I think it just goes to show how being creative, if you're a creative person like me, it can really help your brain out. So I reckon this is probably my second favourite spread in here. This is a rainbow squirrel. If you don't know what that is, please look it up, they're adorable. And some blueberries. And just the colours, these leaves, so proud of these leaves with the yellow and the pink and the so cute. Well done me. But yeah, this is just gouache and Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils again. And then I think this is the last spread, I think, because it's just like swatches in the back. More gouache and coloured pencil. Look at these two bunnies. Love the colours. Pink and green is always a winner in my books. Ended the sketchbook on a high, I was very glad. But yeah, that's it. Apart from, we've got some lovely swatches in the back. So these are all the Colourista markers that they sent me to try. The pastel series was pretty good. These are the watercolour ones. And then this was me creating my travel palette, I think. I was trying to figure out which colours I wanted to use. No, this was me figuring out the palette for my first Scotland trip, actually. There's some oil pastels that I got from, you'll have seen me using these in my previous vlog. These are old oil pastels that my granddad bought. My granddad, who's not been with us for about 10 years. I don't know when he bought these, but they were 91p. So I reckon that was a bloody long time ago. But they're basically unused. There's definitely one missing. But yeah, some of them haven't even been used at all. It's quite interesting which ones he did use, like the white, he's obviously gone nuts with. But that was after my grandma gave me those, I was just testing them out. But I just thought it was so cool. I almost don't want to use them for anything because they're so old. And then just a bunch of washies that I kept in there in case I ever needed to stick anything in. But which is a terrible idea because now they're actually stuck to the paper and the paper tears if I try and take them off. So clever me. And then this is a pocket I made with just some extra bits of paper. So yeah, that's it. Overall, I'm pretty proud of this sketchbook, I can't lie. Some of my favourite things I've ever made are in here. Knowing how long it took me to fill this sketchbook makes me feel a bit sad because it's kind of a physical reminder of me not having time to create. Which is not to say that I feel like I'm any less of an artist because I had periods of not creating anything and I didn't fill the sketchbook very quickly. If you are a person who is an artist and doesn't get a lot of time to create, it doesn't make you any less of an artist. It just means that you have other priorities, and that's fine. That's that. That's done. I can go in the cupboard. I'm now working on this. I was like, it took me forever to fill this tiny sketchbook, so what I'm gonna do is start a big one. Why would you do that? I actually do prefer working in the big one because it does, I don't know, it's just nice to have more space. But it does feel like it takes longer to fill. But I'll give you a little sneaky peek. Why not? Why not? This is something that I've already made in this sketchbook. Some kitties. These are all done in acrylic paints. So yeah, that's my sketchbook that I'm working on currently. I have also got a smaller one that I intended to use as a location drawing sketchbook, but didn't really do a lot of location drawing in it, so I'll probably start filling that as well if I find that the A4 one's too big. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that sketchbook tour. I'm sorry if it was super awkward. I'm really out of the habit of speaking in videos, talking about my work. I feel like I probably got more into the swing of it to like halfway through, and so the second half of that tour is probably great and the first half is really weird. It's fine. Comment down below and let me know which one of the spreads was your favourite. I love to know which spreads people like, because I have my favourites, but then other people's favourites are always super different to mine, and it's so interesting to me. Let me know if there's a particular thing in there that you want me to do more of because you like it a whole bunch, or even better, let me know if there's anything that you want to see me draw that I haven't drawn already, because there's so many things in the world to draw. I want to draw them all. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because I intend to make more content just like this. If you like painting and animals and crochet, hi, you'll love my videos. Yeah, I hope you are doing well. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.